the winds of change are sweeping through Hallis Hall. With the arrival of Ben Johnson as head coach, the Chicago Bears have made a definitive statement. Mediocrity is no longer part of the blueprint. After years of frustration, near misses, and coaching confusion, the Bears have turned to one of the NFL's most innovative minds. Ben Johnson doesn't just come to Chicago to fix a team, he's here to reshape the identity of an entire franchise. When Johnson took over play calling duties in Detroit, the offense was average at best. The Lions were considered one of the NFL's bottom-tier franchises, seemingly stuck in perpetual rebuild mode. Yet, in just a couple of years, Johnson engineered a transformation. Under his leadership, Detroit's offense became a juggernaut, culminating in one of the league's most balanced, efficient, and creative units. He brought out the best in quarterback Jared Goff, whose career appeared to be declining after his stint in Los Angeles. Johnson's play designs, emphasis on player strengths, and fearlessness in critical moments helped resurrect Goff's game and, in turn, changed the Lions' trajectory. So why does that matter in Chicago? Because for decades, Bears fans have watched offensive futility define their team. Even during their rare playoff runs, the defense carried the load. Now, with Johnson, there's legitimate belief that the Bears can develop into a consistent offensive threat. ESPN's Seth Walder said it best when he called Johnson's hiring the best move of the offseason for the Bears. That praise doesn't come lightly. Walder went as far as to say Johnson could be the best first-time head coach in the league this year. What makes Johnson different? For starters, he's a coach who embraces both sides of the spectrum, new-age analytics and old-school toughness. He believes in the math behind going for it on fourth downs, but he also believes in holding players accountable, grinding in practice, and instilling discipline. His coaching staff reflects this philosophy. With names like Eric Bieniemy and Antoine Randall L. joining him, the message is clear. This isn't going to be a finesse operation. It's going to be tough, competitive, and intelligent. Johnson also brings perspective. He's seen failure firsthand. He was part of the chaos in Miami and the dysfunction in Detroit under Matt Patricia. He's climbed the coaching ladder from the bottom up, starting again as a quality control coach before proving himself as an elite offensive coordinator. And perhaps most notably, he created his own offensive system. He didn't inherit one. That level of design and adaptation is exactly what Chicago has lacked. The expectations are high, and that's not a bad thing. For the first time in a long time, the Bears aren't just hoping for a better season, they're preparing for one. Johnson is here to lead, and every move he makes is a step toward a different kind of football in Chicago. Before we continue with the latest updates, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and smash that bell icon so you never miss a beat on all things Chicago Bears. Let's dive back in. With training camp on the horizon, the Bears front office is hard at work shaping a roster that can compete from week 1. That means tough decisions are being made, and no player's position is entirely safe, not even Braxton Jones. With Tristan Wirfs expected to miss time in Tampa Bay, the Buccaneers may come calling. Jones, currently in the final year of his contract, is a prime trade candidate if he loses his starting spot to a rookie like Ozzy Tropilo or a rising talent like Karana Megaji. The question for Chicago's decision-makers is value. If they're offered a 5th-round pick or better for Jones and they trust their depth, it might be worth it. But it's not just about Jones. The offensive line battle is heating up across multiple spots. Amegaji could kick inside to guard, giving the Bears flexibility. Tropilo, if he earns the starting left tackle role, could anchor the line for years to come. And then there's the rookie class, arguably one of the most exciting in recent memory for Chicago. Colston Loveland, the athletic tight end, is generating massive buzz. He's not just a safety valve, he has the potential to be a true game changer. His ability to stretch the field, dominate in the red zone, and act as a matchup nightmare for defenses gives the Bears an entirely new dimension. When fans debated which rookies must succeed, 3 names consistently surfaced: Ozzy Tropilo, Colston Loveland, and Luther Burden. Tropilo could solve the left tackle problem for the long haul. Loveland could become Caleb Williams' go-to weapon. And Burden, with his elite quickness and explosive route running, could turn into the dynamic playmaker the Bears' receiving core desperately needs. Defense is also on the minds of many. The pass rush remains a point of emphasis, and several names have surfaced in trade speculation. Could the Bears make a move for Bradley Chubb if the Dolphins falter? What about Kayvon Thibodeau if the Giants implode midseason? Carl Granderson has also been mentioned as a potential fit. Each of these players could immediately lift the Bears' defensive front and give them an edge they haven't had in years. There was even a brief stir about Alvin Kamara. While adding a player of his caliber is always tempting, the redundancy with DeAndre Swift makes it a luxury, not a need. However, if the Saints start unloading talent and the price drops, don't be surprised if Ryan Poles makes a calculated move. The bigger picture? The Bears aren't standing still. They're evaluating, adjusting, and positioning themselves to strike, whether that's before week 1 or at the trade deadline. The vibe at Hollis Hall is one of controlled aggression. Injuries are inevitable, and quality backups can be the difference between a playoff berth and a wasted year. That's why so much attention is being paid to Chicago's offensive line depth. At tackle, the Bears are better positioned than most. Darnell Wright is a rising star. Braxton Jones, if not starting, is arguably the best swing tackle in football. And Ozzie Trapillo's development could be the key to unlocking the unit's full potential. Inside, however, questions remain. Jonah Jackson is expected to be an anchor at left guard, but center and right guard are less settled. Ryan Bates has a shoulder issue that's lingered, and Doug Kramer is seen as a center-only option. Sixth-round pick Luke Newman and swing lineman Bill Murray will need to prove themselves in camp. And if Karan Amegaji can adapt to playing guard, it could solve a lot of problems. The coaching staff is likely to shuffle combinations throughout preseason. Expect Amegaji, Newman, and even Murray to get extended reps. The goal is to find a trusted 8 or 9-man rotation that can handle the grind of a full season. Meanwhile, the biggest question of them all remains: can the Bears finally take down the Packers? It's been a long time since Chicago swept Green Bay in a season, but fans are hopeful. Last year's matchups were competitive, and now, with a new head coach and fresh talent, the playing field feels more even. The NFC North is a battleground. Minnesota is retooling. Detroit is on the rise. Green Bay remains the standard. But the Bears? They're the wild card. Analysts around the league are split. Some believe Chicago could win 12 or even 13 games if everything clicks. Others caution that a 6-11 finish is just as plausible. That high variance speaks volumes. The Bears are no longer predictable. They're dangerous. They've got a coach who knows how to win, a quarterback in Caleb Williams who's bursting with potential, and a roster loaded with youthful upside. Success will hinge on how quickly everything comes together. The schedule is tough, no doubt. But if the Bears can win close games and steal a few upsets, a playoff berth is well within reach. They'll need discipline, creativity, and resilience. Fortunately, Ben Johnson specializes in all three. This team is no longer defined by its limitations. It's defined by its possibilities. The questions are real, but so are the answers. The 2025 Chicago Bears have something they haven't had in a long time: belief. Final thoughts: the Bears have made their intentions clear. With Ben Johnson at the helm, this isn't a team looking to survive. It's a team preparing to rise. From potential trades to rookie breakouts, every day at Hollis Hall brings a new storyline. Stay tuned, stay locked in, and above all, stay hopeful. This is Chicago's moment. Will they seize it? Make sure you're subscribed for all the latest Bears updates. Leave a comment with your season prediction. And as always, bear down.